An entire generation of generals and admirals were told that they must parrot the insane fallacy that, quote, our diversity is our strength. Of course, we know our unity is our strength. They had to put out dizzying DEI and LGBTQI plus statements. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that.
So he's super mixed up in all that. First of all, diversity and unity are not opposites of one another. That's not how that works literally at all. People concerned about climate change don't worship climate change. Actually, we want to stop it. Is that part of what you're not understanding? I feel like that's a significant thing. Also, what does that have to do with wokeness? I don't know, he lumps it in there. It seems to make sense to him. But the reason it turns out that his like performative anti-wokeness is so jumbled is that maybe it's not actually what he believes, because it's now been revealed that back in college, he had a very different opinion on wokeness and all of those things that he just rattled off right there. He apparently wrote a master's thesis back in 2013 when he went to Harvard University, which evidently is the case. I know that there is no evidence from anything he's said and done, but evidently they did allow him in there. And he wrote a master's thesis that backed equity, diversity, and accessibility. He apparently proposed establishing a public high school focused on math and science in his home state of Minnesota. And he said that some students in Minnesota nationwide were being left behind in STEM education. And this new public school would help to address that crisis. It shouldn't just be for people with money. We need to be socially conscious of other socioeconomic statuses, he said. He said the proposed school would be merit-based, but also it would be for the best and brightest students with a balance of race, class, gender, and geography. He wrote that closing racial achievement gaps is a laudable goal, and he actually advocated for cooperation with state lawmaker Melissa Hortman, a Democrat who had been vocal on education. And yes, we mean that particular Melissa Hortman, which is interesting. This sort of tracks not only his evolution over time, but that of the right wing, that previously he actually wanted to solve these societal problems. Now he's running cover for a fascist regime. Meanwhile, along the way, she ends up getting killed by the same sort of out of control right-wing violence that he is now an active part of that movement. Here is a quote from his actual master's thesis, and this is just 12 years ago. Ensuring low income and minority children have the same opportunities as more affluent majority students is an essential goal and worth pursuing with vigor and substantial investment. Our country and state must strive for equal opportunity for all, regardless of race, class, geography, or gender. Now it's patooey, no men in dresses. I don't care about that. If I see a black pilot, I think, well, maybe I should get off this plane. And so, I don't know, I'm left wondering, like, was he lying then or is he lying now? Or is he like a Ted Cruz and he never really had a position and he can't really lie about this stuff because he doesn't actually really have any political values or principles? I don't know. I only know that his spokesman tried to provide cover for him after this was revealed, saying the assignment was to write a paper from a bipartisan perspective, which is why the recommendation section at the end reflects bipartisan solutions. By the way, it's not an assignment. It's not a paper, it's his master's thesis. It wasn't a hypothetical, it was his proposed bipartisan solutions. But then Sharon Parnell says his views from 2013 are consistent with his views now as Secretary of War. Meritocracy should reign supreme over woke ideology and DEI. No, that's not consistent, actually. It's the exact opposite thing of what he was advocating for. And Sharon, my view is probably he's doing what all of them do. They previously believed a variety of different things, and then they realized, oh, if I want to get on Fox, if I want to get into power, I need to say a bunch of troll-ass clown crap. And that's what he does. And maybe it actually reflects him. I don't know. Maybe he actually hates black and brown people, gay people, women as much as he performs on stage. What do you think?
I think it could be a hybrid. Number one, we really got to think about how we think about Harvard as being this great institution. If like anyone can get in, any fool. But I think the hybrid part is this. You're in Harvard, you're around other people, perhaps a roommate who think like you. I mean, look at J.D. Vance, another Ivy Leaguer who evolved. And then you kind of had no integrity. So yeah, you kind of, buy in a little bit. Or he may have to admit that somebody wrote it for him. I think that could be likely. Somebody wrote that for him. Okay. He didn't author it, so he's good. Perhaps his views haven't changed. He delivers his racism and sexism and misogyny with such vigor. I have to believe it's deep, deep inside of him. I think those are his true beliefs.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Maybe he's like a Benny Johnson or a Melania Trump, but he's just like, writing's hard. I'll just take what someone else said.
Sure.
Maybe that's the case.